Welcome back to Rotten and Forgotten. Our paint's dry here, so we're gonna keep, plucking away at this rig today, and maybe get started on the hood too. First off, we're gonna drop this thing and start sanding it a little bit, getting ready for our next coat. So, let's do that, I guess. So we're just gonna do some real light sanding on this. I got a 150 grit on here, and we're just gonna kind of go over it, make some grooves in that new paint for our next coat to, stick to. That's the plan. And there's some wood in this yet, apparently, and I got it all over, so gonna have to blow that out real quick. That was smooth. Now that we got this lightly sanded, we're going to go around with some acetone and just make sure all our surfaces are clean before we start applying paint. Good. So our first paint we're going to be using is this engine enamel. It's, high temp paint. We're going to use that up in this area where the engine and the exhaust is. While that paint's drying, I'm going to try to hammer that hood latch pin out. I kind of completely forgot about it until right about now. We got to get a latch on there, so it seems like a good time to do it before we go any further. So yeah, this could get interesting, I think. Oh no. Well, that's not good. The punch ain't, staying straight. Got it to move like 1/8 of an inch. So that's great. Oh, we're going. Now we're stopping. This is good though. I re-straightened my punch, by the way. We got some oh, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Glad it came out as easy as it did. That could have been not good at all, but it's done. Let's go, to the salvage yard and find ourselves a new hood latch. Welcome to the salvage yard. These are the last 2 frames of the 4 Amigoses that I bought. We got the General out of it, and now we got this 335 we're working out of it. But I think this one doesn't have a wood latch, so I'm hoping this one does. Yes! Oh yeah, we're good to go. We just got to beat that out of there. Shouldn't go too bad. If it goes like the one that we just did, I brought that pin with too, so maybe I can send this pin through this one. This one appears to be stuck, like bad enough where we'll probably, get the torch out. Adding on the fun, I guess. So we're just gonna apply some lube on that hinge. Maybe get her to work back and forth a little bit. And some heat. Never can have enough heat. As easy as that, we got ourselves our hinge. Let's get these spindles out too while we're at it. Some light taps with the hammer usually, breaks them free pretty quick. lube on them. Ain't gonna hurt a darn thing. We're gonna have to tap on these a little bit. I found a nice block to put under there. And yeah, a couple taps should really, you know, help ease them out of their homes. You don't want to tap too hard, you know, wreck the threads. Well, a couple taps ain't gonna hurt nothing, especially, you know, light taps. We got the spindles out, so that's good. Something interesting about them is, you know, they're tapered one way, or they lean one way. Keep your skis straight, because you gotta have straight skis, right? So you don't want to put them in opposite, otherwise your skis are going to be sitting wonky. I'm sure you can do it, and I'm sure you really won't notice it, but just something to think about, you know, if you're doing this at home. Okay, now we can have some real fun. We're going to work with this fiberglass hood. Now, fiberglass is not a very fun material to work with, personally, for me, because it's itchy and it gets in your lungs and it makes you not feel good if you're not wearing proper, you know, protection and whatnot. And it's just kind of gross. But anyways, we're gonna get this hood done. So first off, you know, I already did some fiberglass work to it earlier, but I gotta cut this chunk off. We're gonna put some tape on the back of this, tape on this, you know, kind of round these corners off. Then put some backer on our hood hinge. She's a little lacking there, and you know that's a high stress point. We'll probably put some backer on here too, and then of course here, stiffen this up more since we took that material out of there to make our, you know, steering column fit. But yeah, so let's just get to work, I guess. I made all my patches that I think I need for this round, and I'm going to make my fiberglass resin now. So I'm going to pour a little bit of this stuff in there, then take your hardener, put a couple drops in, stir it up good. I'm not very good at it. I'm pretty new to the world of fiberglassing, and I really don't want to get good at it because I don't like doing it personally. But it's got to get done, and I got to do it. I should be wearing gloves, you know. I ain't got them. I'm gonna wash my hands right after I'm done here, but yeah, this is some fun stuff. There, it's kind of on there. Hopefully it hardens. So we let her dry pretty darn good. Let's see what we're working with on the top side here. Okay. Kind of something there. It's pretty hard. That's good. So we have a little bit more fiberglassing to do on this side of the hood, but we kind of have a problem because this hood's bowed out. The front was cracked and the hood just kind of splayed open for so long that it doesn't quite fit on our frame properly. So we're going to put the hinge on, bolt the hood onto the hinge, fold her back, and it's going to have tension in between our runners here on the frame. Well, we're going to fiberglass it in the frame so that tension stays stressed on the hood, and you know, it shapes it right. So instead of being bowed out like this, it's going to pull these corners in how they're supposed to be, and everything's going to work a lot better, I think. So let's get that hinge in there quick. It should come right out since we already battled it. We'll see. There. Hinge, you know, installed. Now, we're going to have to take our hood and drill out our 3 holes that we fiberglassed over, you know, a little bit ago, and get them back to, you know, factory specs. Then we'll bolt them on with some temporary bolts, fold her back, so we know exactly where it's going to line up before we fiberglass that piece. it's gonna go good. So it's looking pretty good. We do have a little bit of gappage right here on the frame, but pretty much all my 71s are like that on one side or the other because they're not new anymore and they've seen some trees and whatnot. But the hood itself looks like it should work. You can see this is really pushing this in. I'm gonna grind on this a little more, make a patch, tip the sled up, and then, you know, resin that and fiberglass it. Get that side real strong. Probably put another coat on the back side of this. It's gonna be a little bit till we do that though. We're really gonna eye up and work on this side. As you can see, it is just, you know, there's not much here. It is just paper thin and it's all cracked up at that too. So we'll grind on that, put a fresh coat of fiberglass on there. Everything will be looking a lot better for this side. Strengthen it up. Gas one first. Carefully. This stuff's just bad. Definitely need compassion. Just hold it light. So while our fiberglass hardens, we're going to take all of our parts here, well, the start of all our parts, and start, you know, wire wheeling them down, getting them ready for painting. It's pretty simple. You just and then go to the next part, but it's pretty boring. We'll do some kind of time lapse or something. This is kind of fun here. A guy fixed his steering with a nail at one point when his cotter key failed. That's pretty cool. We got most of our hardware here cleaning up. We're gonna start working on these skis. We're gonna pop the springs off and, you know, just clean them up with the wire wheel, probably the grinder a little bit too, and, you know, just get them so the paint's gonna stick. It's kind of the goal. We've been giving her with the wire wheel and the bench grinder, and we're getting pretty darn close. We still got the secondary to go, muffler, motor, you know, get that stuff prepped up. Our bogies, we're just gonna hit them with some black, let them go. I mean, you're not looking at those anyways, but we're gonna get back to work on this hood since the fiberglass is kind of set up now. We're gonna trim off this edge, take the hood off the frame, flip her over, and do the inside too. Make sure that's nice and good. Throw another one on this, you know, gap here. But other than that, it's coming around pretty darn quick. Well, we're going to let this fiberglass resin set over the night. All the dirty work is almost done. You know, we just got to work on this hood a little bit more. And then we're going to get to painting. And after painting, reassembly. But we're going to save that for the next episode because, you know, I'm tired and filthy. and I need to go to bed. So, you know, that's where I'm going. Anyways, thank you guys for watching Rotten and Forgotten. I appreciate it, and we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.